Hello, my friends. Welcome to another episode of Stephanie's Stamp Pad, where we get together and make a card. Today's card is so cheerful, and I just love it. It says thanks, and it's all embossed, which is fantastic. And it has these cute little flowers, which are so much fun. Open it up, and you can write your message. Now, what do we need to create this card? Probably items you already have. One of the items we're going to be using is the Framelits 3D drop-ins. We're going to be using this for the base card and some of the flowers. Another item we're going to be using is my Sizzix embossing folders that are borders, and we're going to be using the dots. Then we're going to be using flowers to die for. Now these flowers match the flowers that are in that die set, so that's perfect. And we have some glitter buttons, and oh, I think that's it. We're going to get started. Okay, the first thing we're going to do, and I've already done this, so I've already used the, let me show you, the base of this card. So I'm going to put it out of here. Oh my goodness, it's stuck. There we go. I used the base of this card to create my card base. So now I have these cute little rounded edges, which is fun. Then I cut my 3 pieces of cardstock to 5.5 by 1.5 inches. Okay? And then I'm going to take these and I'm going to emboss them. So I'm going to lay them in my embossing folder, just like that, one at a time, and I'm going to run them through. Now, if you're not sure what size to make your paper, just make it the same size as the embossing folder, and then you're good to go, okay? Now, here's a tip. You cannot use your magnetic platform with the embossing folders. So I'm going to reach down here and grab my handy-dandy multi-purpose platform that came with my machine. Now, this is an older version, so it's shorter, but it's the same idea. I'm going to take this, lay that down. Whoops, get it in there, make sure it's nice and straight. Lay that down, and I'm going to run that through the machine. Easy peasy. Now I am using the Express. You can use the Big Shot Plus, the Express. You can use the Vagabond, any die cutting machine, and we're going to do all 3 of these really quick. So there's that one, and we're going to run that through. Now we can go the opposite way, save time, and then we're going to do the orange. So simple. Embossing is so fun because it adds such a fun element to your project, and it looks like it was hard to do, but it was so easy. Back in the day, we used to have brass stencils and all this other stuff to do it, but this is so much easier. Now, I am going to get out some ink blenders because I want to blend these to make them look extra pretty. I just want you to see the example of the difference of it. Blend it with ink on top and no ink. And you can just see it just adds a little extra. So let's go ahead and grab our ink blenders. Grab both out so I know which colors to use. And we're going to be using Ocean. I believe it's Ocean. So let's get Ocean. Ocean. Here's Ocean. Now, I highly recommend you use the smaller ink pads for your ink blending. Why? Because sometimes fuzz gets on these, and if fuzz gets on your real ink pads that are larger, then when you go to stamp a solid image, you're going to have fuzz on it, and it's going to make you very upset. And you don't want to get upset. And I don't want you to get upset. I don't even know what this is. What is this? Oh, we probably should use that. I need some scratch paper. Oh, here's some. We'll just use this. So now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go like this, start off, and then rub on. And look at how it just pops off that page. Just kind of rub it on there. And you can really see that embossing really take a life of its own when you add the ink to it. Look at that. Isn't that pretty? So there's the one. Then let's get Tangerine. Now I'm just going to put that back in its spot, nice and safe. And let's get Tangerine, which is, that one's backwards. I don't like that. Tangerine. And then Banana will be next. I'm sorry, Guava will be next. So we're just going to add a little bit onto this. And I just love using these ink blenders because they're so much easier to get that ink on there. Okay, fun. Clean that one up. That lid on. And then we are also going to do Guava. Where's my Guava? Guava is the most used, as you can tell. Now, these ink sponges last a long time. Now, I probably didn't even need to add ink to this one because I'm sure it had ink on it already for my last project. But I added a little anyway. Look at that. Isn't that pretty? Just really makes it pop. Okay, so we're going to move this over. And then what we're going to do is we are going to stamp, we'll put those off to the side for now. We are going to stamp in banana our flower. So let's get that. And I am very, very bad about cleaning stamps, so I'm going to clean that one just to make sure it doesn't have any extra ink on it, because knowing me, it did. Especially when I'm going to use banana. And I always wear sweats or pajamas bottoms, so I wipe them on my bottoms here. Okay, and we're just going to stamp that. Of course, my secret weapon is below me, and you know what? That had ink on it. Let's do that again. We'll flip it over. There we go. That's going to be much better. Okay, so now we're going to die cut that. And I have a feeling I probably should have, I think this is one of the few times I should have die cut it first. Because, and this is a good example to show you. Let me show you the die. Here's the die. Now, it's not a framelit die, meaning you can't see completely through it. Now, I could probably line that up pretty well, but I could have also die cut it first and then stamped it. Either way, it doesn't really matter. This one, you can kind of see through it, so I'm just going to go ahead and run it this way. Just kind of look, eyeball it, and we should be pretty good to go. I'm going to lay that down and run that through. Now, I also die cut out the yellow flower, the banana yellow flower, just out of this flower. Both of these flowers are in that card kit. That's a little off, so we'll use the sample that was already made for me. There we go, that one's a little better. And then we're going to ink these edges. This one's already been inked, but let's grab our banana. And we did not use banana earlier, so let's go ahead and ink this baby up. And I want to go along the edges of my little flower here. This one's already been done, but this one, I just want to go along the edges just to add a little bit of extra yummies. And another thing to go around the edges, and I want to show you on the one I kind of messed up on, because there's no mistakes in crafting, right? So see how this one's kind of not all the way off to the, it's not like lined up perfect. If I take this and add my inking, all of a sudden you can no longer tell. It's kind of like erasing the mistake. Not really, but you can't tell that I was off. So we're going to actually use this one because I don't want you to ever worry about that. But look at that. See, you can't even tell that I was off. Creative genius at work. Not. Crack myself up. Okay, so there's the banana. And then we have this little one. Move that off to the side. Sometimes this turns out so pretty. You could die cut this to make flowers. Sometimes it just turns out so pretty. So now what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and put our card together. Get the extra ink off your hands. And we're going to add our orange at the top. And I would kind of eyeball this first. Kind of just go, okay, there's that. And you'll notice these are a little bit too big. That is actually on purpose, because I like to overcut and then I can trim it down, which is very important. So I'm going to do the middle one first because that can just go in the middle, and that's easy peasy. So if we make it longer on purpose, then we can trim it down. If you cut it exactly, chances are it's not going to be exact. It's not going to be exactly what you want. So trim it after you put it down. So we'll line that on it under the curve there. So we'll do that right there. And then we'll do our blue. And that one's a little crooked on that one, so we'll do right there. Add that one right there. And then, so I did, see how I have it all along on the extra other bits on the straight side? Take your scissors, flip it over, and watch this. Use the card side as your guide, and just trim. Look how easy that is. Just trim along that side, and now, boom, perfect, right? So now we have that. Then let's add our cute little flower. We're gonna add that right there. And just for kicks, we're gonna hold that down and pull up these little guys. Pull up the little, I call them legs. Just kind of peel them up a little. Just like that. Then we're gonna add this little guy right in the center. And then we're going to add a cute little button. Button, who has my button? And we'll add a zop to this. We're going to add that right there. And last but not least, we need the word thanks. So we're going to find the word thanks that's in this kit, because there's so many pieces in this kit. And what are the chances that it's not in mine? Which is always possible, because my kits... Oh, there it is. Whew. You'd think I'd double check that before I started, right? Chances are my kits don't have everything. And this has Sizzix adhesive on the back already. So I'm just going to lay that down. Now, because I'm lazy and I don't want to wait all day, I'm going to use a smaller cutting pad and run that through. I can be cleaning up as I run through the machine because it's so handy dandy. And I'm going to pull that up, fill that up. And look at this, because the Sizzix adhesive is on the back. Easy peasy. I'm going to lay that down right there. And look at how fast that card was. Isn't that adorable? And it's so cheerful. I love the colors. Thanks, embossed with a flower stamped and die cut. Isn't that fantastic? Thank you so much for joining me for another episode of Stephanie's Stamp Pad, where we get together and make a card. I'll see you again next week. Bye-bye.